Now let's take a question. Let's open the floor and take a question.
I love your teachings. I never thought I was going to ask anything for now. As I get very nervous when I improvise, but there is something very unusual that is happening in my practice. You know, I've been practicing all my meditations every Sunday. I've been doing my prostrations. I was actually feeling quite happy. I have a daughter. I have two daughters, one for my first marriage and one for my actual marriage. The one from my first marriage has 41 years old. I have two grandsons. I thought that I did the best I could because a divorce is not easy. I understand that. And I did the best I could when I was living in my country, Puerto Rico. And when I divorced, she was 5 years old. So when I crossed to America, looking for growth internally and in every way, I thought I was doing the best for her too. I used to bring her all the time in summers, in December, to keep a connection with her. And I did that for many years, all until she grew. But I never been, you know, in some way I understand she's very angry. She's been holding anger, and I understand her anger, and I accept that a divorce, she expects from me to be there, and I can. I divorced. But as recently, we were having a great relationship, but suddenly she wants me to visit her constantly. And I know that kind of a person. I like solitude. I like my own space. I'm constantly talking to her on the phone. I never stopped communicating with her for about 35 years. But she invited me recently, and because of all these problems of COVID and all, I hesitated. But she got extremely angry and wrote me a letter with a lot of pain, I would say, and poison in it. And it was devastating. And my practice has been shook. I mean, I'm shaken. I lost my peace in some way. And I'm struggling. I keep, I'm struggling. But the suffering it has been shocking to me. I never thought I could, be shaken like that. I felt so much hate in the way that she wrote this letter to me that is actually making me suffer right now. And it's difficult for me to go back to track. I don't know what to do.
얘기가 조금 길어서 제가 다 못 알아들었는데 제이슨님 조금 요약해 줄 수 있는가요?
네, 스님. 첫 번째 결혼해서 딸이 포르토리코에서 지금 사셨던 분이신데요. 결혼하고 이제 포르토리코를 떠나서 미국으로 올 때 이혼하고 떠나서 올 때 그때 딸이 5살인데요. 지금은 41살이고 또 손자도 2명이나 있다고 합니다. 그래서 나름대로 노력을 많이 하셔가지고 성장하는 과정에서 여름, 겨울 방학 때마다 계속 미국으로 데리고 와가지고 시간도 많이 보내고 그래서 통화도 수시로 하고 이렇게 최대한 노력을 최선을 다하긴 했는데 최근에 본인한테 굉장히 큰 딸이 많이 분노를 표하고요. 그리고 최근에 코비드 상황에서도 꼭 자신을 와가지고 방문을 해야 된다. 하지만은 본인은 좀 혼자 있는 것을 좀 좋아하는 스타일이고 내성적이라서 코비드 때문에 좀 꺼려하고 그랬는데 그러니까 편지를 정말 분노에 찬 편지를 보내한테 보내가지고 막 거기에 대해서 비난을 하고 어렸을 때 나를 위해서 없었다라는 식으로 이제 비난을 하면서 굉장히 화가 많이 나 있는데 그런 딸의 편지를 받아서 본인이 많이 흔들렸습니다. 그래서 절도 하고 명상도 하고 본인의 고요함이나 이런 차분함이나 이런 것을 어느 정도 평화를 찾았다고 생각했는데 딸의 편지를 받아보고 나서 이렇게 흔들리는 본인을 보면서 지금 좀 쇼크도 먹고 어떻게 해야 될지 거기에 대해서 지금 좀 갈등을 하고 있습니다.
네. 많은 정성을 쏟았는데 돌아오는 것이 내가 원하는 그런 보답이라기보다는 원망이 돌아오니까 마음이 많이 아프시겠네요.
So I understand your hurt. You did the best you could in the situation you're in, and what you're getting back is anger and not what you expected. So I understand the hurt that you're going through.
그런데 이것이 예외적인 현상이 아니고 이런 게 인생이다.
But this is not an exception. This is the normal part of everyday's life.
제가 물을 테니까 아주 간단하게 단답식으로 한번 얘기해 봐 주세요.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions. I want you to answer very briefly to those questions.
자, 내가 어떤 여자분을 사랑한다고 합시다.
Say I'm in love with some woman
너무 사랑스러워요.
and she is very lovely to me. I'm very attracted.
근데 그 여자분은 나에 대해서 뭐 별로 좋아하지 않는 것 같아.
But I don't think she really likes me back.
그래서 내가 너무 사랑스러워서 사랑해 하면서 껴안고 키스를 했습니다.
But I felt so attracted. She was so lovely to me. So I hugged her and gave her a kiss.
나는 정말 나쁜 마음 하나도 없이 정말 내 진심을 다해서 했습니다.
And I tried to express, the depth of my heart, my longing for her, and there was no bad intentions whatsoever.
근데 그 여자분 입장에서 나는 사랑을 했지만 그 여자분 입장에서는 사랑을 받았습니까? 성추행을 당했습니까?
So I expressed the depth of my love for her, but from that woman's perspective, she received the full intent of my love, or was she sexually harassed?
She possibly think that she's sexually harassed.
왜 사랑했는데 나는 사랑했는데 왜 저 사람은 성추행을 당했다고 고발을 할까요?
So I expressed my love, but why does she think that she was sexually harassed and report me?
난 성추행할 의도가 전혀 없었어요.
Because I have absolutely no intent to sexually harass her.
그러니까 좋은 의도로 했다고 반드시 좋은 결과가 나는 것은 아니라는 거예요.
So what I'm trying to say is that just because you do something with good intent, that doesn't guarantee a good result will come back to you.
그러니까 내가 딸을 사랑했다고 하지만은 딸은 마치 성추행 당한 여인같이 지금 상태가 된 거예요.
So basically, you say you did your best for your daughter in the situation you're in, but the daughter, like that woman in that story I just said, did not receive it that way.
즉, 그 여인의 마음에 대해서 고려를 안 한 거예요.
In essence, you did what you wanted to do without regard to your daughters.
그러니까 그러면 그 성추행과 사랑의 차이가 뭘까요?
Then what's the difference in that story I told between sexual harassment and love?
이것이 사랑이다, 이것이 성추행이다 하고 결정은 이 사랑을 하는, 성추행을 하는 남자한테 있을까요? 그걸 받아들이는 여성한테 있을까요?
So who actually decides whether this was love, expression of love, or it was sexual harassment? Is that on the guy or the girl?
Depends on the way that you see it. Yeah. It's perspective. Yeah.
다시요. 내가 어떤 여인을 사랑했다. 내가 어떤 여인을 성추행했다 하는 나의 의도가 성추행이냐 사랑이냐를 결정하느냐. 여성의 입장에서 이건 성추행이다. 이것은 사랑이다를 여자가 이 경우에 남자의 경우 이 경우에 여성이 결정할까요? 남자가 결정할까요?
So once again, in the story I told, is it the intent of the person, of the guy who hugged and kissed her? Does that intent determine whether this was innocent love or sexual harassment? Or is it the woman's decision and how she received it that determines whether this was love or sexual harassment?
It could go either way. It could go either way. Is if she feel harassed, that's what she feels. If, there was a good intention in me, but she perceived it like that. So I don't expect that. There's like no right or wrong in this one.
그러면 어떤 여자분이 나를 아주 좋아해요.
Okay, so another story. A woman took a liking to me. She likes me,
난 싫어.
but I don't like her.
그런데 내가 어떤 날 어두웠어. 그 여자인 줄 몰랐어.
But one dark night, because it was so dark, I didn't realize it was her.
그래서 내가 그 여자를 성추행하는 마음으로 그 여자를 껴안았어.
So I wanted to, at that point, I wanted to actually sexually harass somebody. So I actually gave her a forced a hug on me, forced myself upon her.
근데 그 여자는 난 줄 알았어.
But she realized that it was me.
그럼 그 여자는 사랑받았다고 생각할까요? 성추행당했다고 생각할까요?
Then at that point, from her perspective, was she sexually exploited, or did she think that I liked her and she felt loved?
전달이 잘 안 되나요?
Do you not get that? Did you get the question?
No.
여자분이 나를 사랑하는데 나는 별로 좋아 안 한다.
So there's a woman, she likes me, but I don't really like her back.
나를 좀 포옹해 달라고 여자분이 여러 번 요청했는데 내가 거절했다.
And she wants to sleep with me, but I refused her several times.
근데 어느 날 깜깜해서 누군지 내가 그 어떤 여자분이 있는 건 알았는데 누군지 몰랐다.
But one night, I was drunk and it was really dark. I couldn't see who this woman was. So I grabbed any woman without realizing this was a woman that actually liked me.
그래서 내가 그 여자를 성추행을 했다.
And I forced myself upon her. I slept with her.
근데 그 여자는 난 줄 알았어.
But she actually knew who I was.
그랬을 때 그 여자는 성추행을 당했었다고 느낄까요? 사랑받았다고 느낄까요?
Then, from her perspective, does she feel loved by the man she liked, or does she feel sexually violated?
Oh, she feels love.
네. 그러면 성추행을 당했나 사랑을 받았나는 가하는 사람이 결정합니까? 받는 사람이 결정합니까?
Then who decides that she felt, loved or sexually violated? The perpetrator or the person, the receiver of that action?
She saw it as love, and the perpetrator was just all confused. She didn't know. He didn't know even that it was her. He just forced himself into her, but she decided to look at that as love.
그러니까 성추행을 했느냐 안 했느냐는 내가 사랑했다, 내가 성추행을 했다, 내가 사랑했는데 왜 성추행이냐 이런 얘기는 사실은 온당한 얘기가 아닙니다.
네, 사실은 마지막을 못 들었습니다, 선생님.
내가 너를 사랑했지 성추행한 거 아니다 이런 아무리 그런 얘기를 해도 그거는 관계가 없는 얘기 때문에 진실하고는.
So whether somebody did, claims that it was a sexual harassment or whether it was expression of love, has nothing to do in a way with the actual truth of what happened.
상대가 원할 때 해주면 사랑이고 상대가 싫어할 때 하면 성추행이에요.
It's sexual harassment if the other person didn't want it, but it is love if the other person wanted it.
그러니까 아이가 원할 때 자기가 아이가 사랑을 원할 때 자기가 딸에게 사랑을 못 베푸는 거예요. 부부 갈등 때문에.
So in your case, because of your divorce, you weren't able to be there and when your daughter wanted you to be there.
아이는 그때 상처를 입은 거예요.
And that's what caused hurt and injury to your daughter.
근데 아이가 그렇게 필요하지 않을 때 자기는 많은 사랑을 베푼 거예요.
But you express your love to her when she didn't really need or want that love.
그런 어떤 때는 사랑을 느끼고 자기가 원할 땐 느끼고 원하지 않을 때는 못 느꼈던 거예요.
So in that case, maybe she felt love when she wanted to, but at other times, it wasn't love that she felt.
그러니까 자기가 지금 억울해할 일은 아니다.
So what I'm saying is that this is not something for you feel as if you're wronged
내가
by your
얼마나
daughter.
많은 사랑을 베풀었나 이건 지금 중요한 게 아니다.
So it's not important how much time you try to spend with her or how best you try to raise her or spend time with her.
아이는 지금 자기가 원할 때 그때 얻지 못한 것에 상처를 가지고 지금 이렇게 분노를 하는 거예요.
Because your daughter her anger is coming from that trauma that happened when you weren't there when she needed you or wanted you to be there.
지금 코로나 바이러스가 나면서 심리적 불안이 일어나면서 어릴 때 그때 지금 마음으로 지금 자기를 찾는 거예요.
So when with the COVID hit, all the nervousness, uncertainty, and anxiety caused by COVID, maybe that took her back to her childhood when she really wanted her dad. And that's what caused her to reach out to you.
자기가 이번에도 또 거절한 거예요.
But you refused her again.
그러니까 옛날에 어릴 때 상처가 트라우마가 이게 확 분노가 폭발한 거다.
And that caused her internal trauma from her childhood to explode.
그러니까 지금 거의 지금 제정신이 아닌 상태로 폭발해 버린 거예요.
And exploded so much that she's not herself.
그러니까 자기가 지금 엎드려서 절을 해야 합니다.
And that's why you need to prostrate right now.
너가 원할 때 내가 원할 때 내가 너 옆에 있지 못해서 미안하다.
Yeah. I'm sorry I wasn't there when you wanted me to be there.
너가 그렇게 간절히 원할 줄을 내가 몰랐다.
I didn't realize how desperately, sincerely you wanted me there.
아빠는 너를 사랑하지만은 늘 내 일이 있어서 너의 마음을 헤아리지 못했다.
Me as your dad, I always loved you, but because I was busy with my own life, I could never fully understand your needs.
그래서 너의 마음을 아프게 했다.
And I caused hurt to you.
정말 미안하다.
I am sincerely sorry.
이렇게 참회를 해야 합니다.
And that's how you need to repent.
우선 가서 하기보다 우선 혼자서 이렇게 해야 합니다.
Instead of, first and foremost, you have to repent to yourself before going there.
그래서 자기 속에 있는 상처, 지금 이 자기도 상처가 지금 더 난 거예요.
And because her anger also caused you hurt.
네, 그렇게 자기 상처를 이렇게 먼저 치료해야 됩니다.
And you need to heal your own trauma, your hurts yourself.
지금 이거는 딸을 치료하는 게 아니라 나를 치료하는 방법.
So this is a way for you to heal yourself, not your daughter.
자기가 이게 치료가 돼서 이렇게 내 분노가 없어야 이제 딸을 치료해 줄 수가 있습니다.
Only when you get rid of your own sense of anger and wrong by healing yourself can you really help your daughter heal herself.
딸을 만났을 때 딸이 막 아무리 분노해도 내가 상처가 없어야 이렇게 보듬어 줄 수가 있습니다.
Even when you meet with your daughter, even though she may get really angry at you, if you have healed yourself, then you won't react in the same way.
아니면 지금 가면 사과를 했는데 딸이 막 분노를 하면 내가 억울해가 나도 또 분노를 해서 대판 더 크게 싸우고 원수가 됩니다.
And if you go now in this current state of hurts and anger, and even though you go there to apologize, if she doesn't accept your apology and expresses her anger, then you will react the same way and cause even more rift between you.
그러니까 지금 다른 생각할 필요가 없다.
At this point, today, you don't have to think about your daughter
그건 그의 인생이다.
because that's her life.
지금 나는 내 인생을 살아야 합니다.
Because you have to live your own life.
나를 치료해야 합니다.
You have to heal yourself.
나를 치료하는 것이 딸의 아픔을 깊이 이해하고 참여할 때 내 상처가 치료가 됩니다.
And you heal yourself by having a deep understanding of your daughter's trauma and her hurt.
네, 그렇게 해서 자기를 치료해서 건강하게 사시기 바랍니다.
And by healing yourself, I wish you a healthy and happy life.
감사합니다, 스님. 감사합니다.
네, 부처님의 가르침은 어떤 사람의 어떤 마음병도 다 치유할 수 있습니다.
So Buddha's teaching can heal anybody, any trauma.
그러니까 여러분들은 다 원래 정상적인 자기의 건강한 마음 상태로 돌아갈 수가 있습니다.
And allow you to go back to your normal state of being without suffering.
앉아서 명상하는 것은 그런 쪽으로 가는 하나의 방법이지 명상을 테크닉으로 해서는 절대로 이런 지혜를 얻을 수가 없습니다.
Meditation is sitting down meditation, breathing. That's one way that you can, facilitate your path towards that. But treating meditation as a skill will never get you there.
Yeah. Thank you, Sunim. Thank you so much. You were like reading every stage of my life, and I don't have words to express the gratitude that I feel right now. It's I don't know. It's just I would call it the first beginning of healing happened right now because of your words. 감사합니다.